But let's turn our attention to pro wrestling because, Adam, this is what you and I do. This is our passion outside of football. And, Rack, we got all excited when we learned that you two were a huge fan of the Squared Circle. So I got to ask you, what was your heyday for pro wrestling?
My heyday was early late '90s, and then early 2000s. That's when I started watching in the Attitude Era. They used to be in the WWE, and the Wars, I believe they called it, with Nitro and WWE. I
Absolutely.
think that was the era that I used to watch, the NWO era, stuff like that. DX when they were in their prime. I mean, I loved it all back in that time.
That was a good time. Now, were you more of a WCW guy or were you more of a WWE guy at the time?
At the time when I first started, I was a WCW guy, and then once I believe I don't know what changed. I think when The Rock and Austin and DX they came on the scene and it became that Attitude Era. I
Yeah.
think that's when I started. I couldn't help but flip flop, and then once the WWE started becoming stronger and stronger, and WCW was coming weaker and weaker. You just kind of, like I said, you just flip flopped, and it's all she wrote. Obviously, I know what happened. They bought each other. They bought WCW, and it's all she wrote.
Now, who, in your opinion, is the greatest wrestler of all time?
The greatest wrestler of all time, in my opinion, I believe it was Sting. Because like I said, I was a huge WCW fan, and he was just indestructible coming down the rafters and stuff. Man, I loved all that stuff when I was younger. Man, it was so cool to watch. Man, he's just tearing up, beating up everybody. I remember when NWO used to jump everybody, and here comes Sting with the lights off, and he's beating up everybody with a bat that wore black and white. Man, it was something to watch back in the day.
Absolutely. I'll never forget being at the Verizon Center the night that Sting actually joined NWO Wolfpack. That is probably my single favorite wrestling memory of all time, being there in person. That was just
Oh,
the roof, I mean, just blew off of that place. Speaking with Brian Orakpo, talking a little pro wrestling here on Fourth and Pain with Adam Carriker and Chuck Carroll. And Rack, I know that you're a busy guy now, but who are some of the guys currently in pro wrestling that you kind of have your eye on?
The only guys I really don't watch it nowadays. The only guys that I know of, like I said, was John Cena, and CM Punk. Those are the only guys that I know that are popular guys right now. So that's pretty much about it, man. I really haven't been keeping up with it ever since I, lost interest in it a while back.
now, do you prefer the young Doctor of Thugonomics John Cena, or the modern day, as The Rock dubbed him, the Fruity Pebbles version of John Cena?
I kind of, it's, I like a mixture of both, man. I think both are pretty much unique in their own way. But when he first started, man, everybody, it was so unique, seeing the type of character you never really seen him before. And, he had his catchphrases and stuff. I thought that was real cool. And then he changed to the, all-American, hero type of guy. And, it gets kind of cheesy to me every now and then, but, it is what it is. Like I said, you get the best of both worlds with those two different type characters he's playing.
For me, it's Doctor Thugonomics, if I could speak all day. What about you, Chuck?
Well, it's got to be the Doctor of Thugonomics. To me now, he just reminds me too much of Ryan Kerrigan. He's in there. He's the all-American
Whoa, is that
guy.
a shot at Kerrigan?
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Whoa.
Maybe a little bit.
Whoa.
I like Ryan Kerrigan,
He's
but
gonna
he
lay the
just.
smackdown on your candy
I
ass.
like
Watch
Ryan
out.
Kerrigan, but he doesn't have that edge to him. He looks like he should be
Oh.
walking around with a glass of
Oh,
milk in
that's
his
my-
hand all the time.
Wow.
Oh man, that's my road dog, man. You can't do Kerrigan like that.
Hey, you want to?
We
All
call
right,
him, he's Superman, man. I call Kerrigan the Clark Kent, man, version of Superman, man.
All right.
He takes off the glasses, he goes to beast mode when he wants to.
I got to throw Chuck under the bus right here. I wasn't going to say this, but since he said that about Kerrigan, I'm going to tell you what he said about your voice, Rack. He said
What'd he
you
say,
have an
man?
extremely deep voice, and before interviews, you should suck a little helium.
I said for
What is your
this
response
interview.
to that?
I
Cut
said
a
for
promo
this.
man.
on this little guy.
Hey.
Cut a promo on him,
Hey,
man.
hey, man, I've been like this since third grade, man. Imagine me being in the third grade with a deep voice, man.
Dude.
It's natural, man. I love it. You
Dude,
can't knock my deep voice, man.
I may be a little bit jealous. I'm not going to lie to you because Nick Sundberg says that he can't listen to this show because my voice is so high. So, you know, in all honesty, Rack, that is probably just a little bit of jealousy pushing its way through
Hey,
on my
don't forget
part.
about LeVar Arrington.
Yeah,
He don't like
I'll let it
replacing-
slide, man. It's all good.
Yeah,
I'll let it slide.
LeVar wants me to do his voicemail. Good Lord. Brian Orakpo, on that wacky note, we greatly appreciate your time. Best of luck this season, and welcome back to the field, my man.
Appreciate it,
I
brother.
appreciate it, man. All right, so thanks for having me.